Good morning.
We'll get started with our warm-up now, and you'll simply just need to follow along with these exercises. We're going to start with our feet nice and close together, hands on our hips, and we're going to alternate stepping up onto our feet. For 8, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Beautiful. We'll now come up on both feet, coming up and down for 8, and on the 8th one we're going to hold for a balance. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and on the last one taking our balance 8, keeping those ankles strong, activating our core, activating our gluteus maximus, balancing for as long as we can, and we're going to relax down to the floor. We'll now go into burlesque position, which I'll break down in just a moment, but for now just pop one leg in front of the other, and we're going to circle our hips around anti-clockwise for 8. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Beautiful. We'll now do some body rolls where we're going to pull our body up, contract, release. Pull, contract, release. And we'll do that 4 times through. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. Beautiful. Changing sides and repeating. Starting with our hip rolls, going anti-clockwise, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Moving on to our 4 body rolls. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lovely. We're now going to isolate our shoulders going backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Lovely. At this point, if you feel you need to have a quick stretch, feel free to pause the video here and stretch out any muscles that are feeling a little bit tight. We'll now move into learning some of our basic movements, and we're going to start with our basic burlesque position. If you watch any of my pin-up posing videos, this is exactly the same as our classic pin-up pose. We'll start from the ground up, starting with our feet. We're going to take an open position with our feet so they're in first position. We're going to bend one leg forward and hug that into the other leg. This is creating that classic elegant leg line. We want to avoid turning this leg out like this unless we're doing a jazz line, but for this we're mainly going to maintain this position here. We want to ensure we're keeping good posture. Our hands are going to go onto our hips, relaxing our shoulders down, making sure our elbows aren't too far forward or too far back, they're just going out to the side, and we're pulling up as tall as we possibly can be. And this is our basic burlesque pose that we can practice on both sides. We can extend the foot, we can bring it in, we can take it back a little bit. It's all a variation on that same pose. Moving on to our next movement, we have our burlesque bounce. So we're going to go from this position and we're going to bounce our body down and up, down and up, bending equally down through both knees, making sure one's not just bending and creating a strange move. They're both going down and up, down and up. As I'm coming up, I'm really accentuating my bottom, so it really pops at the top of that movement. Lovely. We'll change sides and try in the other direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Beautiful work. In today's routine, we're going to be doing a variation of the bounce where we're going to add some arm movements. So as we do this, our hands are going to come out, in and click, out, in and click. As I'm doing this, my palms are facing down, then they're coming in, twisting inwards and clicking. As we bounce down, flat hands come in and click, down, click, down, click, down, click. We'll practice that in the other direction. We have down, click, down, click, down, click, down, click. This movement may take a little bit of practice, so if you need to pause the video here and just have a quick practice of getting that motion, it's essentially flat and click, flat and click, but we do that while we're standing and our arms are going out, in, out, and in. You can add any variation that works for you, and if you feel like that's still just a bit difficult in the routine, just do our basic bounce and add the arms in when you're ready. Our next fabulous move is our body trace, which can be applied to any part of our body. The most important element of tracing our body is to make it look smooth and silky, light and delicate. If we just kind of slap on our hand and make it look like we're applying sunscreen, it doesn't have that glamorous look to it. So whenever I trace my body, I'm using my fingertips and creating the illusion of oozing glamour and being soft and silky. For today in our routine, we're going to be tracing down and up, and we're just going to go down and up on our thighs for now, but again, you can apply this to your arms, around your décolletage, wherever you desire to trace. So we're going to take our hands just onto our hip region, tracing down and up, down and up, once more, down and up. Beautiful work. We'll now move on to our bumps. We're going to take our legs nice and wide apart in a second position, which looks like this. We're going to have our hands on our hips for this exercise. Generally, for a newer burlesque performer, we suggest keeping your hands on your hips as much as possible. And as a choreographer, I include a lot of hands on hips choreography to make it easier for the performer, as they don't need to worry about their hands in this movement. You can take them into different positions as you bump, but it's all about practice and making it look fabulous. But now we're going to relax into our knees. This is what's going to get that really bumped movement. We don't want it to look like we're just pressing our hips side to side. We really want that forceful bumping movement. If you've ever been in this situation where your hands are full of groceries and you need to shut the car door, you can use your hips and bump them closed. It's that forceful energy that we want to include in our bump. So we'll relax into our knees, hitch our hips up in the opposite direction, and we're going to bump to the right, to the left, to the right, to the left. We can do doubles of this as well, so it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Beautiful. The bump is such a classic element to burlesque. We'll now move on to work on some leg lunges. We'll start in our classic burlesque position, and what we're going to do is trace our toe along the floor and bring that back in. To make the move look a little bit more fabulous, we can use our upper body and twist in the opposite direction. We'll change sides, trace, and in. Change, trace, and in. Change, trace, and in. Beautiful. When we're doing our lunge, it's important that we're not transferring our weight as we're doing the lunge, so we're not stepping to the side. During the entirety of this movement, our weight is on our supporting leg. So this one here is my right leg, and my left leg lunges to the side and comes back in. We're going to finish with our final move of today, and that is our bust shimmy. Now, if you're wearing a sports bra like I am today, it definitely holds everything in a little bit more, so don't stress if you're not getting as much movement as you'd possibly like. We're going to start by putting our hands in a cropped second position, and we're going to isolate our shoulders backwards and forwards. In this movement, I'm not twisting my arms side to side or moving my whole arm out side to side. It's just my shoulders moving backwards and forwards, speeding up until I have a glorious shimmy. The shimmy is definitely something that can take a lot of work, so don't stress if you don't have it just yet. We'll try that again all together. Our cropped second arm position, isolating our shoulders backwards and forwards, moving them quicker and quicker until we have a shimmy. So we're now going to move into our choreography for today. I have some headphones here, which I'm going to use to pop on the music for me, and I'm going to edit it in for you later, just in case you're wondering what these are doing here. For all our routines, I'll be using phrases for 8 counts to count our moves through. For instance,
This was just a warm-up. I hope you all enjoy. Thank you for watching.